Welcome back. Today I'm going to play a rapid game on chess.com. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or a chess coach. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess. And one way that I gauge how much better I've gotten, or if I've gotten better, is occasionally play a rapid game. As you might imagine, since I'm doing this on camera, there's a little bit of stage fright, I guess, especially since in the past I had lost a bunch of games. I used to be nearly 1,400 and now I'm down in the 1,200s. Part of that is because recording's a little distracting, but I will try to focus on the game. I'll try to do my best. I'm just going to click play and do a 10-minute rapid game. I don't know what color I'll get, but we'll find out. And whatever I do wrong, I'll try to, analyze afterward. It looks like I got the white pieces. I have been playing c4, and that's a very common response. Then I get the knight out here. Depending on what they do, yeah, I'm going to fianchetto my light squared bishop over here. Looks like my opponent is also going to fianchetto their bishop, but they have played c6. I think that's an attempt to go for the center. I think I'll be okay just by playing e3 here, and if they do go to the center, I can just take it. I'm going to put this knight here and prepare to castle. Looks like my opponent is also castling. And again, we will just take here. They did not go there. Okay. Well, then I think it's probably time to push this b-pawn forward and get this bishop out, or should I go ahead and make a play for the center here? I'm not sure, but let's just do it and see if they take. And I think I'm supposed to take back with the e-pawn rather than the knight, but they didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and break open their center. They take back. I'll take their queen. Then they'll want to take here. No, they'll take the queen back first. Let's just do that. And then we'll do the queen trade, and then I can protect my c-pawn this way, I think. Like so. And I think I'm doing okay. Still need to develop the dark squared bishop. I'm not sure what that did. Can't I just play e4 now? Or is that what they're trying to bait me into? To block off my own bishop, right? Because once I play that, then this bishop isn't going anywhere. Or should I just leave it? Or they're preparing to play e4 now, aren't they? I think that's what they were doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and play that. I think I had to, because if I didn't, they were going to bring this down. I don't think that's a problem because the knights are protecting each other. In fact, I might as well just push this pawn here and see if their bishop runs away. The f-pawn. Okay, their bishop did go away. I think I've pretty much blunted their light squared bishop, but now I can get this out. No, if I put my bishop there, then they're going to put their rook right in the middle. Okay, so I should put this rook here first and then do that, I think. Okay, that knight is maybe trying to come around this way. Possibly. It was, but where it's not going anywhere. Oh, it's going here to d3. Well, I guess I can just put a rook here. I assume they'll want a rook trade. Most people at my level, when given a chance to trade a piece, they'll just do it. Now I assume they're going to get that knight out. Oh, they went over there with it. Okay. It's too bad that c-pawn is there because that would be a great spot for my knight. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do other than continue controlling this open file here. You know what? I'm going to put this bishop here and try to, help control this area. Oh, okay, that pawn's protected. Where's that knight going? Oh, here. That's where that knight's going. Okay. I think I can just go ahead and attack this knight this way, maybe? They can protect it with the pawn, of course. Okay. Guess I could put my other knight on a4, which they could take, and that would mess up my pawn structure and lose that pawn, so not a great plan. But now I'm going to pull my bishop back that they've committed that pawn, and if they do hop in here, I'm going to drop it back to a1. They did drop it in there. Okay. I'm going to push this back to a1 and then prepare to push these pawns. My a and b pawns, I think, is how this is going to work. Oh, they've gone back. Okay, well, this starts the pawn marching here. They brought it back in here, still coming for the bishop. Okay. Well, now I can put it right there and protect the pawn. And they're going to come after my rook, I assume. No, they went after that pawn. Okay. Wow. All right. Looks like they're doing really well with their knights in there. And again, this is available. There's not much I can do about that, I don't think. And now that pawn is toast, apparently. All right. I'm just going to try to work this in here. I can't save that pawn. If I moved it, they would just get it with their knight. And I can't move my knight to c5 as long as their knight's in here. Okay, wow. Well, at least I get to take something out with that pawn. And then come this way, and then they're going to push that pawn forward, I assume. But now I can go where it is. Like so. and then maybe pull a fork here on c7 because I'm running out of options. Looks like. Yeah, I figured they were going to do that. And now, should I take that with my knight? I think I should take that with my knight, and then we will trade knights here. And I'm still a pawn down, and they have a passed pawn on the A file. Okay, that's weird. I thought they were going to take my knight, but they didn't. Okay, well then I can put it back where it was and still aim for that fork, can't I? I think. That's what I wanted to do was, go this way. I assume they're going to push the A pawn because that's their, I guess, biggest asset now. Okay, well now this isn't much of a fork, but I can still threaten the bishop. It'll go somewhere, maybe back there, or maybe they'll leave it and push the pawn. I don't know. What is that doing? Oh, that's aiming for this square, so I can't block the pawn with my bishop. I guess I could always drop it back. I'm going to take their bishop, and then I don't know how to stop that passed pawn other than getting behind it. Can I get behind it this way? I feel like I've been outplayed since the beginning, but I won't know until I see the analysis at the end of the game. Oh, I can take that, but that will give them another passed pawn. They're not quite attacking this yet because it's protected, and I guess I would be okay with that. Then I'm going to go ahead and get behind the passed pawn. Oh, maybe they thought I was going for that pawn, and they went there to protect it. Oh, they found another pawn. Wow. Okay, well, I'm missing everything in this game. If I come toward the knight, they're going to get that pawn for free. And if I go forward, they're going to be able to check me here. But if they do that, I'm just going to slide out and be done with the checking for a minute, I think. Because now I'm down 2 pawns. They did check me. All right. You know what? Check me again. Oh. All right. Well, that's been fun. At least I got 1 passed pawn. And now they are... What's that aiming for? Here? Coming after the bishop? I don't know. I just don't know. All right. Well, if it does go for the bishop, I can always move the bishop. So I'm going to aim for this undefended pawn here. Or were they aiming for the check? Because they keep surprising me. I have no idea what they're trying to do. And I keep misinterpreting what they were after. Again, trying to get that pawn, get another passed pawn. Is what it looks like. Again, I could be way off because I've misinterpreted everything else about this position so far. Or, again, they could be defending that one. But right now they have a free knight, so I have to move the knight, which is what I missed earlier. So I guess I'll put it here, which I know they can easily attack with the rook, and then I'll have to move it again. And I'm way down on time. Even though it feels like, from my perspective, I've been sitting here waiting for my opponent to move. That's what it feels like. But then when I look at the clock, it's clearly been me that's taking all the time. Okay, that's one option. I don't know where that's going. I'm not sure what they're after here. Or they're trying to reduce the amount of squares I can move my knight to when they attack it. Because they can attack it 2 different ways. I guess check. I don't know what to do. And I can't put my knight here because then they can pin it. Maybe I can put it here and... No, then where does it go? If I go there, I mean, they can easily attack it 2 different ways. So yeah, I don't know what to do. How about I aim for one of their knights, make it move someplace, and then it'll probably move where it wanted to go anyway. And again, looks like it took me a full minute to make that move. Okay, they're going to get this bishop, looks like. Nothing I can do about it because they're going to get it for free there. They're going to get it for free where it is. So check, I guess. Oh, I can drop it back 1. Okay. And I've given up trying to predict what they're going to play because I've been wrong just about every time. That's one option. It's something that can be done. Okay, I've run out of moves. I can't move this bishop. They're going to take it there or there. I can move the pawn though. Now they can check me, and I guess I have to get in front of it, but then they can check me with the rook, and then I have to go there. No, they can't check me with the rook because my bishop's guarding that square. Oh, but they can check me with that knight, which I'll take. And then they've taken that. I don't know what else to do except, I don't know. I have no idea. I've run out of moves again. And pretty soon I'm going to have to move this H-pawn, my back H-pawn. Okay, well, I guess I have to take this. And then they get that H-pawn with check, so I don't have to move it after all. That came in handy. Guess I'll come back then. Also a legitimate move. But I'm almost out of time here, so I'm going to have to start moving much more quickly in order to survive this at all. Looks like they could check me now, and then I'll have to block it with the bishop or get behind the bishop, which is probably a bad idea. No, they're going to do that. Okay. And I just realized they just won the bishop. Oh, they missed it. They could have just done that and won the bishop. But instead, I'll go here, and then they'll have to check me down there or here, and either way, they'll win the bishop. Okay. Yeah, they're up on material by 5 points. They should have just taken the bishop when they had the chance, but instead, they're not doing that. Okay, then I can check here. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I only have one legal move? Okay. And then I'll just try to stay in front of this pawn as long as I can, which probably won't be possible, given the sheer amount of pieces that they have. They've given me this one, though, so I'll take it. And then I have to do this. They're going to move their king forward, I assume. Oh, I could have taken the rook just then. I didn't even notice it. I can take the rook now, though. Wow. Man, I missed that on the first chance, but then I saw and they didn't see it either, so I don't feel so bad. Okay, well then I guess here. And then if they move that pawn, I get a draw. Okay, let's see. Guess here. I've got to keep protecting this square. Am I going to pull a draw out of this after all that? I just have to do it more. I just have to do it quick. Try to repeat these moves without losing that bishop. And I think I've secured a draw. They're going to move their bishop around as much as they can, but they can't dislodge my king. Oh, wow. Well, I got lucky on this one, folks. Pretty lucky. Very fortunate. I'm going to just try to repeat moves and as quickly as possible. Oh, I messed up. Oh, they didn't see it again. Oh, I messed up because their king, they could have just taken it. And I don't know how quickly I can manage to do this, but I just have to repeat as much as possible. But it looks like they have enough moves that, you know, we... it looks like I'll still lose on time is what I was trying to say, but my opponent has plenty of moves where they might not repeat the position, and then I'll just run out of time. So I just have to keep doing this. And then they're going to try to go around to the other side again and make me repeat the other way. Yeah, see, I have to go this way this time. But I'm down to 16 seconds. I don't know. They haven't offered a draw, but yeah, I'm down to 14 seconds. They're going to try to go around the other way again with their bishop in a new position to see if I would make the same mistake that I made last time, but I don't want to. Okay. Oh. I'm not sure what they... Yeah, maybe they figured it out by now and they're just trying to win on time. And it looks like they're going to be successful. Okay, we got the draw on the 50 move rule. With 6 seconds left. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they gave me hope once they hung that rook and it worked out, but I think if they had just moved a little bit faster, but I think maybe the problem was that my opponent didn't realize that they couldn't win there because they were making fairly slow moves and their own time was coming down pretty hard, but I think they could have moved much more quickly and I would have run out of time, possibly. I don't know. Maybe they did know and they were just having fun wasting my time. That could happen too. Okay, we have learned from recent experience when analyzing games on chess.com that using the game review is very close to useless. It may be useful for some people, but for me, it turned out to be more distracting than helpful. So what I'm just going to do is click the analysis button here, not the game review, and then we'll see where I messed up. And I know that I did. Somewhere early in that game, I messed up, and I don't think I ever recovered until they hung their rook. So let's just go see. All right, well, my computer's fan has kicked on, but here's a point at which I assumed that it would have been counted as inaccurate, but possibly even a mistake. Here, after 8 moves, when I took this pawn, when I played d4, I thought that they were going to take, and we were going to have a bit of a trade here, but instead they developed their bishop, aiming for this undefended pawn, and the evaluation jumped from 0.4 to 0.5 when I took the pawn. So I'm guessing I should have defended the c pawn at that point, and that's what I'm going to see. Yeah, I should have played b3, okay. Or just d5 would have been almost as good. Or queen to b3, which I don't think I would have put it directly in the path of the bishop, but yeah, it says all those would have been better than what I played, which was taking the pawn. Because they can take back, and then my best move is to take their queen, which I did, and then they took there, and my best move's to play b3, which, wait, so why is it worse then? It's saying we should have done that instead of, if I had played b3 first, they would have taken here, right? Let's see, backing up to here, where I should have played b3. If I had played b3, oh no, they wouldn't have taken there. It says they would have brought their queen up 1. I don't know if they would have or not. It's hard to guess what they would have played, but let's say that they played their best move, and it's still not my best move to take there. Because, yeah, that would have lost my advantage, and I would have taken their queen. No, it says that's not my best move. Bishop to a3 is my best move. So that they could move their rook over to protect their queen, and then I would play queen to c2. Yeah, I don't know why that's worse. Okay. Yeah, either way. I don't know why either way is worse. But anyway, let's turn off the lines and look for the next jump in the eval bar. That was the, the first one. So we'll keep going. Okay, here after move 14, there was a bit of a jump when I put my bishop here on b2, which I thought I needed to do because I needed to develop my bishop, for one thing. This rook's just trapped on a couple of squares. But I guess I shouldn't have been worried about this, since not only is it protected, but their pawn can't move. So maybe I should have put it on e3. But the eval bar jumped not a lot, but it noticeably jumped to, I want to say, minus 0.5 when I played the bishop there. 0.7, okay. So I'm guessing there's no point in putting it on a3 anymore since their rook has already moved. So I'm guessing I should have put it on b3, where it would have been on a relatively long diagonal, whoops, not quite centralized, but close to the center. Whereas over here, it's not doing anything, right? Because it's blocked by the own knight, which is already protected, and further than that, it's blocked by their pawn. So, okay, that's what I'm going to guess I should have played. Okay, I got it right this time. Bishop to e3, or rook to d1, since they've just blocked their own rook with the knight. But I still would have been a little bit behind at this point because of when I traded queens earlier instead of playing b3. When I took their, d captures e whatever, that whole situation there, I've been behind ever since. But here I should have played bishop to e3. Okay, at least I guessed that. Okay, here there was another jump. I've been maintaining somewhere between +1 and -1, but closer to -1 here, but I haven't gone over it yet until I played the bishop down here to b2. I remember I had put it here, thinking the two knights were lined up there, but I knew they could protect with the pawn. And I guess the problem with coming back is that they could so easily attack it. What should I have gone ahead and taken it? I think, no, if I had taken it, they would have taken, which would have put my knight in danger. And where's a safe spot for my knight? Because right now it's the only thing guarding this pawn, which they would now be attacking with their rook. So I don't think I should have taken. Should I have come all the way back? Well, no, because then they could have attacked again, and I can't do anything about it. But yeah, that was the problem with putting it over here, is this is such a short diagonal. So yeah, I definitely should have put it on b3 earlier, but I don't know what else I should do now. Should I leave it there? Is that what the engine's saying? And if so, what else should I play? Try to bring this knight around so it can guard that square, but that takes away another spot for my bishop. I have no idea what I should have played h4. Or knight to c1, which I did suggest, but that would have put us past -1. Or h3, but h4 is the only move, according to Stockfish here, that keeps us below -1, or between +1 and -1. Okay, I never would have guessed that, but okay, but the bishop was okay where it was. Shuffling it back and forth into the corner was not the ideal situation. I guess I understand. I don't know why would I play h4. I have no idea for sure, other than it leaves all this stuff where it is. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay, and I paused for no reason, because after I put the bishop here and it gave them -1 point something, when they put their knight over here, the evaluation went back to where it was, so that definitely wasn't their best move. But then the eval bar jumped again when I dropped the bishop back. So my guess is I should have put it back on a3. Yes, okay, I should have put it back on a3, because I know I shouldn't have just left it there or put it here. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so back on a3, got it. And I might as well just, go straight through from here on out, because it looks like every move was a mistake. After I put my bishop back here and they put their knight back there, when I attacked it with this pawn, That was a blunder, and it went to -3. That was the hugest mistake so far for me, and that's because it undefended the B pawn. So I'm guessing here it's going to say I should have played A4, and no, I should have played knight to C1, or bishop to B2, or G4, but not H4. This time it's G4. I don't know why. I remember suggesting that earlier, knight to C1, because it would guard the D3 square. But yeah, that's my best move this time. And the only move that keeps us close to -1. Everything else is closer to -2 or worse. Okay, so I played that and we went to -3. So I was already really far down due to taking the pawn, which I still don't understand why that put me down, but also putting my bishop on the B2 square instead of on the E3 square. That one I think I do understand, again, because it's the long diagonal rather than this, short bit of, space here that I've trapped myself into. This one I understand because it undefends this pawn, and they took it, which was probably one of their best moves. Here I should have played knight to A4. I think I thought about that, but instead I went here because it looked like they were aiming at that pawn, but it turned out they could just take that pawn, the B pawn. So, basically before I moved my bishop, all these pawns are hanging. And I don't know why it's suggesting this, because I don't think they would have traded there because they had the free pawn. It is still suggesting knight to A4. But anyway, it turns out both of those pawns were in danger, and they took one of them. Again, I should have played knight to C1, knight to A4. Here I did play knight to A4 because their knight wasn't there anymore. But of course, I realized that this pawn was gone. I did notice several times when I looked at the lines earlier that they were supposed to play bishop to F8, and I think that was to help get this pawn down, because the engine has realized a long time ago, just like I think I said it during the game, that bishop isn't going anywhere because of this pawn. And I had already brought my bishop back this way for similar reasons. It wasn't going to look anywhere, and at least this way it could do something. Oh, I just realized that's what another thing knight to C1 would do, was guard this pawn, my C pawn, with the light squared bishop. Okay, I get that. But B5 wasn't among their best moves. It brought the advantage back down a little bit as long as I took, which I did. And when they took back, that allowed me to play, I should have directly attacked the rook instead of, what did I do with it? Oh, I came back? Maybe, yeah, I couldn't go here. Okay, but yeah, I should have just directly attacked the rook. And then I could have come in here to D5. Okay, I understand that. If I attacked the rook and it had made, some move to defend itself, I could have come to D5, where it would be protected by the pawn and the rook. I understand that this wasn't great. And we're back to -4. B4 comes after the knight again, and I should have taken, so I didn't play the best move. And they shouldn't have taken me, but they did, because I can, now I can take back, but they still have a passed pawn. There's nothing I can do about it. And they should have taken here. I thought they were going to, so it surprised me when they did that. That takes us back to -2, but only if I play knight to C3. Oh, well. Well, this is when I got the bright idea to go in here and fork the rooks, but, that wasn't great. They did this. Knight to C7 was my best move, okay. I'm not sure why that was bad for them. I mean, this to me was one of the biggest headaches of the game, having both of those knights down there. One of them always protected by the bishop, and then, very often they were protecting each other. This pawn provides a good spot for either one of them to land on. So yeah, I don't know why that set them back so far, but it does say that I should have taken the bishop. Okay, so I did, and it's still relatively close here. That was not my best move. What should I have played here? Rook to D7. Oh, I should have gone all the way to D7? Okay, well, I was just thought either way of getting behind that pawn didn't matter, but I thought maybe here they would think I was going for that, which they did, and they went to protect it. The problem with that is that it allowed them to not only protect this pawn, but from here they're attacking this pawn and the knight, and I didn't see it. I had to take. And by not taking the knight, it allowed them all sorts of things. Not only is my bishop hanging, but this pawn is hanging with check. It says they could have even taken my knight with check and they still would have been up and been fine. But they took the pawn, which, is basically free. Okay, well, I knew I was down here, and so it was just a matter of time. And then where did I come back? That's what I want to know now. I'm going to turn the lines off to save a little power. And just out of curiosity, it's at -6, -6.5. Oh, it's -35 now. Okay. Oh, should I have taken? Oh, I should have gone forward. I couldn't take because the knight's protecting it. All right. Okay, but going in front of it was worse, and they had a mate in 9 with 5 minutes left on the clock. But they didn't find it. That took us back to -4. So what did they have to find? I don't think it was this check, was it? Or maybe it was, to get rid of my knight. What they had to find was bishop to H6. Okay, well, like you can't fault them for not finding that. That's pretty complicated, but they were still, very solidly ahead here. And that was a blunder apparently because we're back to minus 34, but now we're back to minus 5. So my opponent seemed like they were acting like they were in time trouble once we got under 5 minutes for them. I'm down under 2 minutes, but it felt like they started making mistakes here instead of just finishing me off. So I'm glad I stayed in the game. I'm glad I didn't resign, because if I had resigned, I would have lost. And this is why I decided back at the end of the year when I said what I'm going to do differently in 2024. One of the things was that I'm not going to resign. And 2 or 3 times during this, I felt like resigning, but I decided not to. And because I didn't resign, I didn't lose, as you saw. So anyway, I just want to click through here and see where the eval bar changes, because it had to have changed someplace, right? Because I'm pretty sure it was a forced draw once they gave up their rook. Yeah, see, they have another mating sequence here, but they messed it up just a little bit. Now they have mate in 2 now. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I want to say that moving their bishop in here has something to do with it to f4, where it'd be protected. It would be protected by their front e-pawn, and then their bishop would be cutting off all of this, and their rook's cutting off these squares, but then where's the mate? Or is the mate the pawn right now? That would allow me only one legal move, which is coming over, and then that, okay, that's what it is. Right here, after I moved my bishop, and I have no idea why I did that, I was thinking maybe coming around here, something like that. But right here, they had to check me with this pawn. Their king is guarding all of those squares. Their bishop's hitting this one, and their rook's cutting off that. That would have forced me to g3, and then I'm pretty sure that bishop to f4 would have been mate. Yep, e4 check, king to g3, bishop to f4 mate. Okay, they had a forced mate in 2 here, but they did not see the pawn check. Oh, they did see the pawn check. Wait, here, okay, here's where they missed mate. They were worried about the rook being lost, but that's mate. Well, if my opponent ever happens to watch this, you played a really good game and you had me on the ropes the whole time. I'm glad you missed this mate in 1 because I didn't lose. So, but you can practice mate in 1 puzzles on both chess.com, Lichess, and probably a dozen other places. I don't know that I would have found this either, but you had it. So, better luck next time. But they went after my bishop, and that allowed me to come around here, and now they still have a mating sequence. It's mate in 8. But then when I took that pawn, they have mate in 17, but they can't check here, and they did. And suddenly, it's drawn if I take the rook. But I didn't see it at first because I was worried about my time pressure, so I just got out of check. They have mate in 12 again, but they didn't see the rook hanging and brought their king, and then I took now it's forced mate. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure, was that when they left their rook there in the path of my bishop, that's where it changed. Okay, well, I feel good about this. No, sorry, I feel bad about this. I feel horrible about the way I played most of that game. And even though I do understand a couple of the mistakes, I'm absolutely mystified as to some of the others, and I have no idea how I just got that far behind, because I thought that I was making sensible moves most of the time. It also threw me off a little bit when I felt like my opponent was taking time on their end and I was waiting for them to move. And then when they did, I felt like I was making my move, but then I would look and I had lost 2 minutes, So that's one of the things, the perspective gets messed up when you're recording, because I'm talking about my move and I don't realize a whole minute has passed. But better luck to both my opponent and me next time. Thank you for spending your time here. I will see you next time.